100.3 Sound FM.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Underground Sound Project's Through the Ropes, where this week we have a couple of special guests, primarily two guests right now that are sitting in front of me. We have to my left here the Ace of Spades, Corey Spade, who is here to try to make PWA great again.
I am making PWA great again.
And we have the current commissioner, Michelle King, here in the studio. She's sitting with us. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's cool to be here. Thank you so much, DJ JD.
It is an honor to be able to be a part of this debate and to be able to have you come in and also speak with us a little bit. See how things work. See how the job works for you. And I've always wondered how it works. But first, I'd like to say you could see all of us, TSP on CKMS Squad, Corey Spade, and Commissioner Michelle will be down at the Alpine Club March 11th, this Saturday, 464 Maple Avenue, Kitchener, Ontario. Doors open at 7 p.m. The bell will be rang at 7:30. Tickets $20 for the front row. They are limited, right? Are they still?
I don't know if there's any left, but they can
Try.
check KW Games.
Yeah, Vintage Games. Yeah, KW Vintage Games
Perhaps
at
they
301
may
King
have
Street
a couple
West.
left, I don't know.
And $15 general in advance, $5 extra at the door, and $10 youth in advance. So that's pretty good bang for your buck.
It's a great night for Soup Kitchener.
It is at a good discount rate for Soup Kitchener. You're absolutely right. You can purchase tickets by calling 519-998-8799, or as Ace of Spades said, you can go to KW Vintage Games, 301 King Street West, or you can go online, www.pwacanada.com, in the events section. And there's going to be a great card that night. Fantastic card.
Oh, yeah.
There is a fantastic card. Thank you for noticing.
I'm pumped.
Exciting.
I'm pumped for that Ontario Championship with Sexy Sid Summers, and he's going to be going against the Quebec wrestling terrorist Carl Leduc, who's currently holding that championship hostage. I wonder what's your take on what's going to happen.
Well, this is Sexy Sid's return to the ring, so he's definitely got,
Right.
rest on his side. He's
Right.
been resting up. He's been getting stronger, so I think it's going to be a great match between the two of them.
It was exciting to see him come back in that mask. I did not. It was like, who could it be? Like, who could this be? Or he had like a hood or something.
He did. He had a mask on.
And that was I was like, who could this be? And then that's Sid. I look over at Pavey. That's Sid Summers.
I wish he would put the mask back on.
Well, maybe he'll put that mask on Carl Leduc.
And he made Carl Leduc look beautiful.
But just as much as Bill Fabia, right? No. All joking aside, we have a couple other great things also, in my opinion, on that card. Speaking of Beautiful Bia, first time encounter with Jessie Mack. She is from out west, or where is she from?
She is from out west. This is her first time in our Ontario ring in Kitchener.
Nice.
And I think that'll be pretty exciting for the fans. We like to bring in new talent,
Yeah.
especially in the ladies division.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone who knows me knows that I'm slightly partial to the women's division at PWA, and the Elite Women's Championship title is one that's near to my heart, and I'm glad to have another contender in the ring for
Right.
number one contendership when the title comes back next time.
That's
No.
part of the problem right there, being partial to something. You should be impartial.
Impartial
like
to
I
the
am.
people in the ring, but it's
Fair.
you have to have your little pet projects underneath your wing. If I hadn't have taken it under my wing the way I did, it wouldn't be as successful as it is now.
Right.
Flap your wings and fly right out of the PWA.
Women's wrestling and in the independent scene needs more attention, and in Ontario
Absolutely.
we have amazing talent that needs.
And now we do have that is a concern amongst the wrestling world, even in pro wrestling and the indies. And this, I guess, might answer some questions later in the debate in regards to the women's division there. Good, good little ding there for Commissioner Michelle. But and then we also have the Pure Wrestling champion Eddie Osborne, also from out west, and also just coming back from a trip recently from Trinidad and Tobago. He will be there. Wonking Weapon Josh Alexander, Loverboy Lenny Lilac, Hardcore Hick tag team champions Andrew Davis and Brandon Jacobs. They just won it a couple events ago, or the last one.
Our new tag team champions.
New tag team champions. And Big Ticket TSP on CKMS alumni. Big Ticket Reggie Marley makes his return to the Alpine Club after a couple of months away from. Right now, he's relaxing in Jamaica.
He deserves it.
Mr. Atlantis will be there. It'll be good to see Mr. Atlantis again. And the return of Super Kamikaze and so many more. And obviously, we'll find out who will be the commissioner of the PWA this Saturday. That'll be exciting. And it's so much for a good price. So we'll see you down there at the Alpine Club this Saturday. But to get it off, all started here, we have two people in the studio, but that are very important to the PWA. And I want to get to a couple of songs before we end up, or get into a song, Commissioner Michelle's theme song, I guess, your entrance song, Bruno Mars. We're going to play that, and we're going to get into some questions with her. You can check her out on MIC Liz on Facebook and Twitter, right? I hope so.
Yep,
I got that right.
absolutely.
Corwin1, of course, or Twitter, on Twitter or on Facebook, Corey Winarski. And then at PWA Canada on Facebook and Twitter. You can check us out. Send in some questions for that debate letter a little later. And then tune this next song up. I'm excited for this one. Here's Bruno Mars, Happy. You might have heard this one before. Maybe not. From a little movie with a little bit of bunch of yellow guys that like to be cute and run around.
Is that Chinese or something?
I don't know. We'll find out. Welcome back to the show. You may be listening to us on Rogers Channel 946, 100.3 on the FM dial, 102.7 as of March 15th, and radiowaterloo.ca, or hopefully soundfm.ca/listen for the mobile-friendly people out there who want to listen on your cell phones. And right now we're sitting down with the commissioner of the Pure Wrestling Association, Michelle King, and thank you for once again coming by the studio. And I just want to ask a few questions so I just understand what it's like to even be the commissioner.
Absolutely.
So we have, to start off, where did it all start for you? Where are you from?
From Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls.
Yeah. I live in St. Catharines now, but I'm from Niagara Falls originally.
You grew up with your family there?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And just born and raised?
Born and raised in Niagara Falls, yeah.
Did you go to school? Did you stay there for college? Did you leave town for college?
No, I actually did stay close to home. I started in journalism and then took marketing, actually. So
Okay.
it totally relates to what I'm doing now, for marketing PWA.
Right, okay.
All the time. So yeah, it's just definitely connected, but I stayed close to home because there was a good school right there. I went to Niagara College and worked out.
When you were with your family, did you watch wrestling? Did you go to any wrestling events?
Yes, both actually. I used to work at a summer job down by the Parks Commission, and I'd come home late at night. My brother would be watching WWE.
Okay.
And
nice.
Raw was on at midnight when it replayed on Monday nights.
Right.
And I used to drive him crazy asking questions. Who's that? What's going on? My first favorite wrestler was the Blue Blazer.
Okay. All right. Nice.
And I remember that very clearly. And then, of course, later on, Undertaker, The Rock, China, Triple H, everybody, the regulars.
Right.
But yeah, it was definitely became
So
a
that was
family
the
obsession.
Attitude Era.
Definitely the Attitude Era, yeah. But it totally from that, my brother and I, it became a family obsession.
Okay,
And
cool.
then everyone would watch it, and then we went to Fan Access when WrestleMania was in Toronto.
Okay. Nice.
And any house shows that came around, we went to. We went to Raw and SmackDown when they were taped in Toronto, or when they were live in Toronto, and then SmackDown back in the day was taped on Tuesday nights.
Right.
So yeah, we went to a lot of live events for years and years.
That's pretty cool. So, your first event, what was it like for you to experience, like the first time to see the lights, hear the loud music?
What I liked about seeing it was a house show, so it wasn't televised. And the first thing I noticed, of course, was the sound of the ring, how loud it actually is.
Right.
The noise. You don't hear that on TV. So it starts to. It was kind of a mini introduction to indie wrestling, how different it is when the ring's actually there and you're falling on the ring and the sound of the crowd and how far away everyone is from the ring.
Right.
And just the atmosphere and everyone getting so involved and screaming their heads off like the fans do at the Alpine Club. It was so much fun being on the other side.
And it's cool. It must be cool to be able to replicate that, what you enjoyed back then, to be able to have new generations, new audience like kids and whatnot, to be able to experience that.
Absolutely. To introduce them to what we all liked when we were younger.
Right.
It's cool to see the excitement in their eyes. It's part of the fun.
When did you start in PWA?
It was 5-6 years ago. We had some friends bring us to Kitchener to see a show, and we were hooked. We met everyone, and a lot of the guys came down to Niagara Falls to do a charity show, and I was the photographer for that. And it was in Niagara Falls, so we were involved in that.
Right.
And I met Hardcore Hick. I met Lenny Lilac.
Wow.
And I'd never met them before. I met Eddie Osborne, and that was the beginning for me. That day I was downstairs. I was in the locker room taking promo shots, and that's where it started for me in the indie scene for real.
So from that point on to when you started to be commissioner, how long was that
5
time frame?
years.
5 years.
5 solid years. Yeah.
So it was that you were doing pretty much the same thing for 5 years, or did you do anything else?
No, it definitely started at the very, very bottom and worked its way right
Right.
up.
Okay.
I was the photographer for that one, but it was a charity event, and that was part of what I had done with my work. So I was able to help them out by being a free photographer.
You're able to basically get your name out there, and then everyone's like,
ringside.
she'll be commissioner.
I hope so. I never honestly thought about that at that point. I was so excited to be ringside. I was right up against the ring. Very much nowhere near as good as Skullmaster, our photographer that we have for PWA. Skullmaster.
Camera guy.
On Facebook, please. You have to definitely visit Skullmaster Photography. He's amazing. I'm never as good as him, but it makes a difference being ringside, to shoot through the ropes and catch the drop kick in action. It's like the feeling is like, look, I caught that. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So I mean, the bug was definitely there for the beginning for me. But then it went on for me that I did the merch table, I played the music, I rang the bell, I did whatever to help out because I was there.
Right.
So I helped out right from the bottom up and worked my way to this position. I worked for it.
It was volunteer.
For 5 years. Yes. I wanted to be part of it, so I was.
So you just caught the attention, and then you just said, "Hey, I'm available. I'll drink your Kool-Aid." In other words.
Basically.
Okay, nice. And then it paid off, right?
Did
You're
pay
a
off.
commissioner right now. So that's pretty cool. So you became commissioner when?
Last February.
Okay.
So it's just been a year.
So it's been about a year. What in an average day? What is it like from AM to PM for the commissioner?
Well, it's pretty much a regular day like everyone else. Get up, get dressed, get ready. But
Right.
then I'm on making calls, sending emails.
Right.
Lots of reaching out to contacts, discussing with PWA management our next decisions. Because it's not just me. I'm in a sense a middleman. There's still a higher power than me. There's the PWA management.
Okay.
And that's more like a committee, a board of directors, say, that's
Okay.
above me. That you're a faceless entity that we don't see, but they're there.
Kind of like here at CKMS.
Right, exactly. It exists everywhere. And then there's me, and then the roster and everyone else. So there's
Cool.
there's room for maybe others, but it doesn't mean that I'm inadequate. I think we didn't have a commissioner for quite a while, and the role needed to be filled. So, when I was approached by management, I was excited to take on the role. I was apprehensive at first because I was like, wow, it's a big job, because PWA is very important to me. They take us very seriously. So, I had to think about it, but, there was no other answer other than yes.
What happened to the commissioner before you?
Okay. Yeah.
He quit his job after he had done it for very long. Had a bit of a temper tantrum, I think. He never really made an impact, though. If you asked a regular PWA fan, if there was a commissioner
Save the
before
shots
me,
for
they
the
won't
debate.
That's a
remember.
lie.
Save
They
the
don't-
shots.
That's a lie.
They don't remember a commissioner before me. I'm not saying there wasn't any that came before me, but an average fan doesn't remember that back then. We had shows, great shows.
Because they're dumb, right?
Mind you, they're not
Right?
dumb. We didn't need a commissioner. There is a need for one now. I fulfill a role. I'm bringing in new talent, bringing new shows in new areas all across Canada and abroad. Just saying.
Is there a commissioner out west, or are you the whole PWA?
I am the Ontario commissioner.
Ontario commissioner.
Their
Okay.
PWA in British Columbia is still quite small, so
Right.
they don't quite need that level of management yet.
Right,
They're
right.
handling it without me, but I'm always there if questions,
Sure.
assistance, definitely.
Yeah.
You never know when I may fly out on a sanctioned trip.
Oh yeah,
Eh,
good one.
yeah.
I've seen some of her emails too.
Oh, the emails. Oh, wow. I wonder if that'll be a topic brought up in the debate in a little bit here. Some
Emails are
emails.
boring and a necessary thing. Everyone sends them, and they're absolutely
Yours are
not worthy
very
of discussion.
interesting. Very
Well, that's
interesting.
interesting to say.
Was there a leak?
I have people looking into it.
So when you're at a PWA event, what is it on your list? What is it? What do you do to prepare for it? How long does it take you to prepare for it?
Well, sometimes there's a month or two between shows, and I'm certainly always working on the next show. Before we're having a show on Saturday, I've already started working on the card for the next show 2 weeks prior to that.
Right.
Always booking new talent, lining up, because card is always subject to change.
Right.
Unfortunately, we have injury, reality in life, so
Right.
sometimes logistics, you can't get someone in for a match you want to have them on for, so you have them on the next show. So I plan for that. But when it comes to the week of the show, definitely the focus is on that show coming up. So this week, the focus is on Saturday night.
Right.
And only Saturday night. We've got it. And the focus is making it a good show, having a good time for the fans, and just having a great night overall. Hopefully, no one gets hurt, everyone has a good time, and pretty much has a good time. I want the fans to go away happy.
Right. When you are like I've sat and watched the wrestling, and I see you kind of in the background sometimes with the camera. What are you doing? Are you writing down some notes? Are you taking some video for maybe the higher ups? What are you doing it for social media? How does that work?
Actually, you hit on all of the reasons why. Sometimes it's for social media. Often it is a new talent or a new situation that PWA management is interested in.
Right.
Or sometimes it's an idea of mine where it's the match is completely put together in my head and we want to see how it works out. So I take video, send it off to management, see what they think.
Neat.
And or sometimes a wrestler might ask me to take a video of his match just so he can review his performance
Right.
as well, to see how he's doing, if he wants to work, especially some of the newer wrestlers who haven't been in the ring too long, don't have a lot of ring experience, and they want to improve, because that is something we definitely are all for in PWA, is bringing up new talent,
Right.
new freshly developed talent who are just learning in school, and get them in the ring and see how they can do.
During some point during the card, when do you feel like something comes up and you may have to change a match, or you may have to take something out or put something in?
Oh, sometimes that happens during the match or right beforehand.
Right.
We often see our senior official, old school Eddington James, and I off to the side discussing
Right.
something that's happened, or a challenge that has been made by a manager who speaks for his team or his
Sure.
employees.
Like a text or...
Yes, exactly. And then, if they want to make a change, they want to make a challenge. Sometimes I don't know about that beforehand. It's come in the heat of the moment, and I need to address it right then and there. So that's why I'm there, to do that, to either say yay or nay, if the match is a good
Right.
idea, and also to give people opportunity to challenge others as well.
Sure.
And again, in the heat of the moment, a lot of things can change.
And then when the event's done, you're still working. You're still meeting the fans, and you're still saying hi to everybody, people that come up to you, right?
Absolutely, because sometimes during the show, I'm so busy, I don't have a chance to really speak one-on-one with anyone, so I definitely hang around after the show to make sure I can say hello or goodbye to a handful of people and anyone who hangs around. But there's sometimes there's not a lot of time before the show. It depends on if things are changing,
Sure.
so I may
Yeah.
not have the same kind of time like I used to have.
Right.
But the longer I've been in this role, the more involved it becomes.
Sure,
and
yeah.
busier before the show.
Right.
So.
What are some of your, like, out of all those memories and out of all those situations, what are some of your favorites where, like maybe during a day, what's something that keeps you, what's something that reminds you of why you're in it?
Now, the reason what reminds me when I walk into it is when I walk out out of the curtain. I never used to come out of the curtain. I used to I was part of the crowd. I would just get in the ring and start the show. But now, when I come out and the crowd cheers, that's what keeps me in it. I know that they're there to have a good time. They're excited for the show. when they cheer, when I say, "Are you ready? You want to get this show started?" and they cheer, that's what keeps me going. That feeling right there. There is no feeling like being in the ring. I understand a little bit of what it's like for the wrestlers sometimes, what they feel when they get in that ring. It's only a very small part because what they do is so much more beyond than what I am capable of. But I can understand why they do it. That feeling when you get in the ring, it's amazing. There's nothing like it.
Well, that's good to know going into the debate, knowing how things work with you, and good to know that what it really does mean truly to you and how much it does mean to you. Hopefully, I wonder if that will maybe help people decide who they're going to vote for on for the PWA commissionership. We're just going to take a quick break here.